Hi, my name is Ajit Krishnan. I'm a tax partner and leader for the real estate and infrastructure sector for EY in India. I'm here to talk about the recently announced guidelines for real estate investment trusts as well as infrastructure investment trusts by SEBI, which was announced on August 9th. These final guidelines are a culmination of the efforts of the industry, the government, and many stakeholders over the past several years. And largely the guidelines are in line with industry expectations. So what is a real estate investment trust and infrastructure investment trust? It's a trust vehicle which will essentially issue units, raise capital to purchase and own real estate assets or infrastructure assets as the case may be. The predominant objective of the trust is to earn income from these assets and distribute it to the unit holders. These distributions could be in the form of interest or dividends, as well as capital gains on further subsequent disposition of these assets. The question is, who are these guidelines really relevant for? These guidelines are relevant for real estate owners, real estate developers, and infrastructure developers. To give an example, if a company has a large amount of its real estate assets in the form of land and building for their corporate office, for their factories, for their offices, and operations. Now those assets are really not core for their operations but are very important as they house their facilities. Now in terms of utilization of capital for these owners, the cost of capital that is deployed in these assets, which are land and building, is very significant. So a real estate trust enables them to sell down these assets and take them back on a long-term lease. And yet continue to enjoy the properties and therefore releasing a lot of their capital. Similarly, if you take an example of an infrastructure developer who has put a lot of their equity, taken debt, built out an asset which is now generating an annuity income either in the form of tolling revenues or recurring revenues from utilization of those assets, they are now able to sell down these assets to the infrastructure trust and monetize the value as well as the profits from their development services. The same holds true for a real estate developer who's built an office complex, an IT-enabled industrial park, an SEZ or a hotel, to sell down these assets to the trust and monetize the value of their development gains. It is also relevant for investors such as pension funds, insurance companies, and long-term and high net worth individuals who have a long-term view and are looking to gain some sort of an annuity income from these trusts, because these trusts are mandated to distribute 90% of their income on a recurring basis. In terms of next steps, I think the way forward for the government is to clarify and permit foreign direct investment in these trusts under the automatic route, as well as respond to some of the tax asks of the industry which have been represented. These are, for example, exemption of DDT on dividends distributed by the SPV to the trust, as well as capital gains deferral for contribution of LLPs to the trust. Investor education will be a very big requirement in terms of what these structures are and how to evaluate a trust vis-a-vis the other trusts. The larger issue for the industry as a whole is to do a feasibility and test the viability in terms of how much capital can be raised and what will be the serviceability. The announcement of these trust regulations are clearly a step in the right direction and a very big positive for the industry at large. And we do hope and anticipate a lot more capital flows to come through this structure for the sectors of real estate as well as infrastructure. Thank you.